We need to say clearly and forcefully, white supremacy, all forms of hate fueled by violence have no place in America. Failure to call it out is complicity, my dad would say. If your silence is complicity, we can't remain silent. There's those who say we bring this up, we just divide the country. Bring it up, we silence it instead of remaining silent. For in silence, wounds deepen.
President Biden once again blasting hate-fueled political violence in our nation, violence that exists in large part because of lies and conspiracies. We're all very, very familiar with Donald Trump's big lie, the one that sparked the Capitol riot. But there are many other lies about things like Barack Obama's birthplace and the so-called deep state. And the new Peacock docuseries, Shadowland, aims to explore it all.
A conspiracy theory is a theory that there is someone bigger that is pulling the strings.
There are wealthy, powerful families that control everything.
The Nazis are coming, they're here.
Our elections were stolen.
You devil-worshipping Satanist witch!
The rule of law in this country has been eliminated.
There's money to be made here.
People are dying that don't need to.
They are trying to manufacture anger.
I lost everything I ever worked for.
I miss my dad all the time.
This is really pulling people in.
I'm never gonna talk to him again.
Here with us tonight, Joe Berlinger, Oscar-nominated documentary filmmaker and executive producer of Shadowland. All 6 episodes of the series will premiere September 21st on Peacock. Joe, this is a stunning piece of work you put together. I want to know, did any one person, one event, get us to this point?
That's a great question. You know, the easy answer is, first of all, thank you for having me. I'm a big fan of the show. The easy answer, of course, is social media. But I actually looked further back. There was a time when there were, 3 networks, and there was a dividing line between, the news division and the entertainment division. And at a certain point, the line fell, and ratings and selling ads and all that stuff became important for news. And then the explosion of cable networks and the 24-hour news cycle, I think generally our media culture has allowed a lot of opinion to get into the dialogue. And that then intersected with social media. And it's been a decades-long progression of where people just don't know what the truth is. Well, certain people don't know what the truth is. And it's deeply troubling. Like my iPhone is the greatest device you can imagine. We've never had more information available at our fingertips, but there's never been a time where the truth has been so elusive for so many people. And I think this is destroying democracy. And for this show, what I wanted to do was really not get into the finger pointing and the demonization that has happened. We've divided into 2 camps, and we demonize one another, and each side looks at the other side as as 2-dimensional human beings, and we don't have any dialogue anymore. And I think that is destroying the democracy. It will destroy democracy if people can't come together and compromise. And so instead of doing the usual finger pointing, I wanted to do a deep dive into the world of conspiracy thinking, at least try to understand how people come to their views, without judgment.
What I found most fascinating, when you followed these stories, what you end up following is the money. People don't realize that much of this whole conspiracy theory universe is really a multi-billion-dollar industry. Alex Jones, probably the best known, but he's only the tip of the iceberg, isn't he?
Exactly. We follow a guy named Pastor Locke who wants to build his church. We follow people who are wanting to sell products. So there are people who know better. There are political leaders who know better. There are people in Congress who know better, but they're taking advantage and manipulating regular people for whom life has not gone well, and they're looking for an answer. And that's the thing that's shameful that I find in our leaders who are knowingly promoting conspiracy theories. But what we've learned, like we spent time with a woman in rural Pennsylvania. She owns a pizza shop. If you were driving through rural Pennsylvania and stopped off at her pizza shop, you'd think she was a lovely person, and you'd want to sit and chat with her, and she feels like, an American. And yet she's in January 6th in the Capitol calling for Nancy Pelosi's head, and she's sitting in prison right now awaiting trial. But she deeply believes, I want to have empathy for these people who, because of the people who are making money off her and manipulating her politically, I want to have some empathy to try to understand where these people are coming from so that we can talk. Because if we don't talk, we are headed down a very dangerous path, in my opinion.
Decency, empathy, compassion, those are things we all need to have. Calling for Nancy Pelosi's head and storming the Capitol, not so much. Joe Berlinger, thank you so much. And you at home can watch Shadowland on Peacock starting Wednesday. I highly recommend it.